Don't be alarmed. This was done to me on purpose. I had a Moxie laser treatment done yesterday, actually about 24 hours ago. Of course, when I had this done, I planned on having a few days for my skin to heal before I would go out and be in public. So I got to thinking, what would I do if all of a sudden I had to be out in public? There was a family emergency or there was a business trip that wasn't planned, but my boss is making me go. Fill in the blank. For whatever reason, you now have to be out around a bunch of people looking like this. And I don't know if you can see close up, but I've got a lot of pigment coming off. It's very red. I'm also very swollen right here. And it's not only there, I had it done on my chest, and I actually had it done on my hands and my arms, which isn't as a big deal, but I did have it done there. I'm going to show you what is allowed to be done to my face because at this point, I'm technically not allowed to wear makeup. I'm supposed to be very gentle and very minimal on what I put on my face. So the first thing I'm going to do is prep my face for what I'm going to put on it. I'm going to start with Roche-Posay Cicaplast Gel B5. This is my go-to when I have any kind of facial treatment done. This was actually also given to me at the med spa where I had this done. Actually, it's where my daughter works. She's the one who did this to me. She is a medical esthetician and a laser technician. She's the one who made me bleed. As you can see, it's got little scabs here. I was very, very red when I first had it done, like my whole face, and it has definitely calmed down. It doesn't hurt to touch it now. It hurt when I had it done. And I do have a whole vlog coming up with the step-by-step on how she did it and how it looked immediately after and the whole healing process. So that will be coming up here on my channel. I asked Rachel what I was allowed to put on my face, and she said everything I'm about to put on it is okay to do 24 hours after you've had this done. So what I'm gonna do is actually put on a mineral SPF that's tinted. So this is from InnBeauty. It is an SPF 43 with a PA+++, and it does have different shades. I'm in the shade medium. Now, this isn't going to give me a foundation coverage, but it is going to even out my skin tone a little bit. So let's see if we can get ourselves looking halfway normal. It is important that I'm using a mineral instead of a chemical. Rachel said mineral is far better for my face, especially at this point in the healing process. I also, before I go outside, have to have sunscreen on, so this is fine to do. So I'm going to just dab this all over. I'm going to concentrate mostly here. Normally, I would never just use this as like a foundation, but we're going to do what we can do to make ourselves look as normal as possible. Now, I'm not pressing hard. I'm pressing very light. And my skin kind of feels like sandpaper at this point. It kind of feels like it's not absorbing because it's not getting to my skin. It's kind of going on top of these scabs on my face. So it doesn't dry down like it normally would. I'm just gonna make it as even as possible, still going very gentle. We're gonna let that set down a little bit. Things you wanna do now is to bring out the areas of your face that you can bring out. So bring out the best parts and diminish not the best parts. And that's kind of what makeup does anyways, right? We bring out our best and we diminish the stuff that we're not thrilled with. So right now I'm not thrilled with most of my face. So we're gonna bring out my eyes. So we're gonna start with brows. Now I've just filled my brows in, but I haven't done anything to my lids. I'm gonna just put an all over color. This is Perricone MD, one of my favorites. And this is just going to diminish the discoloration on my eyes. And the laser wasn't done anywhere around my eyes. I mean, it starts about here, but it ends up here. So it's this whole circle where nothing's on it. You can go ahead and put makeup all over your eyes. So I'm just going to diminish the veins and discoloration. I do this anyways all the time. And I'm gonna go ahead and powder that down so it doesn't crease. I'm gonna bring it onto my brows a bit as well. All right, before I go any farther, I'm gonna actually go in with another coat of this, but not as much this time. Probably about half the amount that I did before. And this time I'm gonna concentrate it very much here, because this isn't as bad as on my nose and on my cheeks. Now at this point it's kind of thick, and a little too thick. So I'm gonna take this. This is called a StansOut sponge. You use this dry. I use this all the time with my foundation anyways, but the beauty of this is that it kind of soaks up anything that's extra on your face, and that's what this is gonna do. It's gonna just make sure that it's a little bit more even without using like something to rub it, because you don't want to rub your face at this point at all. You really need to be gentle. Okay, so I'm gonna let that set down a little bit more. Okay, I went ahead and curled my lashes, so now we're gonna obviously put on some mascara. Again, we're bringing out the best, diminishing the not so best. I'm gonna use a brow gel. This is just Maybelline Super Lock, my favorite, in clear. And just get my brows tamed so they're all going the same direction. So right now I'm wearing a shirt that's bringing out the red in my face. Red is not the best choice, nor is a V-neck when I have this on my chest. So instead of going to a V-neck, I'm going to change to a crew neck. And of course, going to a neutral color is far better than bringing out the red in my face. Now, of course, any kind of shine is going to bring out any texture you have on your face. And right now, my face is one big texture. So we need to diminish that. I did ask Rachel, am I allowed to put on a powder over the mineral sunscreen? And she said yes. But of course we need to be careful. We don't want to rub and we don't want to do too much because it'll just look cakey and gross. So I'm going to use what I always use. This is from Urban Decay. It's the all-nighter. She said this is fine. I'm going to just take a puff. You don't want to do something where you're rubbing it over your face. You want to press it in. So I'm just going to do half so you can see the difference. And just go all around. Now my eyes, I can go a little bit more because I don't have a laser there or a laser treatment. And we're not going for a perfect complexion right now. We're just going for not so much of a burn victim, because pretty much that's what she did. She lasered my face. It's pretty much burning my face. I don't know if she would say it that way, but you can see the difference. That just shows everything. So you definitely want to tone it down with some powder. So let's do the other side. Lips, I'm just going to do a neutral. This is Laura Geller's Jelly Balm lipstick, and this is in the color Coco Motion. So this is very much a neutral for me. Again, I'm trying not to bring out the pink. So I wouldn't wear it like a red or a pink lipstick because that'll just showcase all the pink and red on my face. So it's far better than what it was. Let me show you what it looks like in natural light. Okay, so this is what it looks like in natural light. So it looks like I went really heavy on blush. Obviously this looks really, really red. So that would be all covered up with a shirt. My arms are covered up, but at least I look a little bit more normal than I did. So to take all this off, I would use a cleansing balm like I normally do. I love the Clean at Zero by Vanilla Company. I will link it below. It doesn't sting my face. That would be to get the makeup off. And then I would use La Roche-Posay's Toleriane Hydrating Cleanser. That one's very gentle. Or you could use the one from Cetaphil or the very gentle one from CeraVe. Any one of those is perfectly fine to get the rest of this off. It's not actually makeup. I guess the powder is technically makeup. Around your eyes, the cleansing balm will take that off. When you are washing this, you need to be very gentle. So go ahead and rub this like you normally would, but then when you get to around the rest of your face, just splash your face more and use just really gentle motions. You don't want to disrupt what's happening on your face. All this pigment is going to fall off, and I'm going to be left with a lot less pigment on my face when this is all done. But I don't want to speed up that process by rubbing it off. It needs to come off on its own. If you want to see this entire process, Rachel actually doing the lasers and the healing that happens day after day, I'm going to be putting that in a vlog. It won't be out by the time this comes out. One of my next vlogs will show you the entire process of having the lasers done and the healing process afterwards. So be sure that you're subscribed so when that comes out, you will see the entire process. All right, I'll see you in the next video. God bless.